Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
Hey fam, this one's wild. So Jimmy Kimmel just went off on CBS, and when I say off, I mean he didn't hold back at all. And the reason? His buddy Stephen Colbert just announced he's stepping away from The Late Show, and the whole situation is messier than we thought. Let's break it all down, because there's drama, shade, and even a little bit of confusion. Alright, so here's what kicked things off. Stephen Colbert dropped the bombshell that The Late Show is officially coming to an end in 2026 after a solid 10 seasons. Yup, after giving us iconic moments and late-night laughs for nearly a decade, it's about to be a wrap. And let's just say, Jimmy Kimmel did not take the news lightly. Right after the news broke, Jimmy hopped on Instagram and straight up blasted CBS with a fiery message. He posted, "Love you, Stephen. F you and all your Sheldons, CBS." Whew! Like, that was direct and spicy. And if you're wondering what he meant by Sheldons, he was clearly throwing shade at CBS's golden child shows like The Big Bang Theory and its spin-off Young Sheldon. That's some bold energy right there. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. CBS put out their own official statement about ending The Late Show, and they claimed it was all about the money. The network said, "This is purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount." Sounds a little too clean-cut if you ask me, especially with what we're about to tell you next.
Yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
See, just before the cancellation was announced, Stephen Colbert himself had some strong words for CBS's parent company, Paramount Global. Why? Because Paramount settled Donald Trump's lawsuit for $16 million over the way they edited his interview with Kamala Harris for 60 minutes. And Stephen was not here for it. He called that settlement a big, fat bribe. His reasoning? He believes Paramount Global is trying to stay in the good graces of the government because they need approval for a massive, multi-billion-dollar sale to Skydance, a big Hollywood studio. Like, let that sink in. 1 minute, he's calling out his own network's parent company for shady moves, and the next, his show is suddenly getting the axe. And yet, CBS says there's no connection? Okay. But here's the thing that really caught people off guard. Stephen isn't mad. At least, not publicly. During Thursday's episode of The Late Show, Stephen actually took the high road and made a sweet speech about his departure. He didn't throw any more jabs or shade. Instead, he focused on thanking his crew and everyone who's been part of the journey. He said, "We get to do this show for each other. Every day, all day. And I've had the pleasure and responsibility of sharing what we do every day with you in front of this camera for the last 10 years. That part low-key got emotional, right? And he's not done just yet. Stephen said he'll still be rocking with the team for another 10 months, and he even joked about working with the usual gang of idiots a little longer. So he's clearly staying positive through it all, which we love to see. Now let's rewind a little, because if you didn't know, Stephen took over The Late Show back in 2015 after the legend David Letterman stepped down. And he's definitely held his own ever since. From political jokes to celebrity interviews, Colbert has become a household name in late-night TV. So seeing his show wrap up is a pretty big deal. Not just for fans, but for the whole late-night landscape. But let's not forget Jimmy Kimmel's reaction again. It really does raise eyebrows, right? Like, was he just emotional for his friend? Or does he know something behind the scenes that we don't? Either way, the way he came at CBS with that post, "Love you, Stephen. F you and all your Sheldons, CBS," was pure fire and definitely shook things up online. And that's why we gotta ask, what's really going on at CBS? Is it really about budget cuts and late-night struggles? Or are there deeper politics at play, especially with that huge Paramount sale in the mix? Let us know in the comments how you're feeling about all this. Are you surprised that The Late Show is ending? Do you think CBS made the right move? And what's your take on Jimmy Kimmel's clapback? Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the next round of hot celebrity news. See you in the suggested video!
Apparently I have a minute because I'm going to be late to work, but Stephen Colbert was canceled. He was fired. He was censored by CBS because he reported on a deal Paramount has with Trump. I don't know, it's some crazy deal. And they're not the news. They're considering getting rid of 60 Minutes. They're bowing down to fascism. And Stephen Colbert stood up. He stood up. And I couldn't be more proud. Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, Green Day, like, my heroes as a child are still my heroes today, and I just couldn't be more proud.
Stephen Colbert just announced that the show is getting canceled, and not just that he's getting fired, like the whole show is getting canceled. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the president. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes, you can read up about it, but I actually think it's a good thing. Like, I'm really looking forward to it, and the reason is we were huge Colbert Report fans. Like, Colbert Report probably got us into politics, right? Like, it was so good. And when he took over the Late Show, like, I was a big fan for maybe
a season or
two.
We tried to watch.
But I think a comedian is always connected to their audience, right? Like, you can't be a comedian in a language you don't know. And so the fact that Colbert was speaking predominantly to a CBS network television audience, and that's just not who I am anymore, right? Like, the last time I watched network television, God, I can't even remember. Like, it's only when I go to hotels. Like, I go to hotels, I'll watch network television.
Yeah, like, what are the shows that they have these days?
One thing about it, and two things for sure, censorship is on the rise because CBS just told Stephen Colbert to pack your shit and hit the door. Jimmy Fallon should be scared. The View should be scared. SNL should be scared. Comedy Central should be definitely shaking their motherfucking boots, because if Trump can cancel Stephen Colbert, and make no mistake, this was Trump. This was CBS pacifying Trump. Why is CBS trying to pacify Trump? Well, because Trump was suing CBS. Because y'all remember when Kamala and Trump had that little interview or that little debate? Well, Trump accused CBS of basically editing it in a certain way that made him look bad and didn't show the real truth or whatever. And so CBS, even though they quoted, and this is also what Stephen Colbert said as well, that even though CBS originally, when the lawsuit was filed by Donald Trump, they said the lawsuit had no merit. So if it had no merit, why did you give that man $16 million? And that's the same thing that Stephen Colbert was wondering when he mentioned it on his show a couple weeks before this announcement was made. Now, according to the streets, it is rumored that the reason as to why CBS gave Donald Trump the $16 million is because they're currently in a merger with Skydance, and they didn't want anything to ruin the merger with Skydance, and having a pending lawsuit with the President of the United States is never a good look. So it's rumored that is the reason why they gave in and settled out of court. And then Donald Trump was quoted on Truth Social saying that he did hear about the news of Stephen Colbert being canceled, and that he loves that idea, and that he hears that Jimmy Kimmel is next. And this is an active threat by President to the media. It's not just about Jimmy Kimmel. It's not just about Stephen Colbert. It's about media as a whole. And it's about Trump saying that if you guys say things that I don't like, if you guys say things that I don't agree with, if you don't say the things that I want you to say and how I want you to say them, then I will come after you. However that looks like. If it has to go about in a roundabout way that we could, that doesn't directly look like I'm canceling it, I will figure out how to do that. And make no mistake, they will. This is the start. I know that it seems convoluted right now, and a lot of people could be like, well, maybe, if so, maybe. It is. It is. And it's the start. Write that down. It's the start, right?